They're patterns people repeat every day that seem harmless on the surface, but from God's perspective, they carry real weight. Not because he's harsh, but because he sees where they lead. These habits don't just disappoint him, they stir his righteous anger. And that anger isn't random or emotional. It comes from a place of deep love, like a father watching his child drift toward danger. The hard truth is, many of us are living in ways that quietly distance us from him without even noticing. So today, let's talk about 4 habits that grieve God and what you can do to turn things around before it's too late. First, pride that pushes out humility. Pride isn't always loud or obvious. It doesn't always look like arrogance. Sometimes it's just that quiet belief that you've got everything handled on your own, that you don't really need God anymore. Scripture makes it clear God opposes the proud. Why? Because pride shifts the focus from him to you. It turns blessings into personal achievements. It makes you forget the source. You start telling yourself, I worked for this, I built this, and slowly gratitude fades. You stop acknowledging the one who made it possible. Look at Saul. He was chosen by God, lifted from obscurity, given authority. In the beginning, he was humble, but over time, he started relying more on himself than on God, and that shift cost him everything. Now compare that to David. He messed up badly at times, but whenever he fell, he came back with humility. He owned his mistakes. He sought God again. That's the difference. Pride hardens you. Humility keeps you open, teachable, and connected. The tricky part about pride is that it blinds you while it's working. You don't even see the damage until you feel the emptiness where God's presence used to be. So before pride quietly takes over, pause and remind yourself, God, none of this is mine without you. That one moment of honesty can change everything. Second, ignoring that inner conviction. You know that subtle feeling when something doesn't sit right? That quiet voice saying, don't go there, or this isn't right. That's not random. That's God speaking to your heart. Conviction isn't meant to shame you. It's there to guide you, to protect you. It's like an internal warning system. But the more you ignore it, the quieter it gets. Think about Cain. Before he made his biggest mistake, God warned him. He told him what was coming and gave him a chance to choose differently. But Cain brushed it off, and it led him down a dark path. That still happens today. God warns us through our thoughts, through people, through situations that feel off, but we often label it as overthinking or stress instead of recognizing it for what it is. When you feel that nudge, don't push it away. Lean into it. Take it seriously, because that small warning today could save you from something much bigger tomorrow. Third, treating sin like it's no big deal. It never starts big. It's always small at first. A little compromise here, something you justify there. Over time, what once bothered you stops affecting you at all. That's how it works. Sin slowly dulls your sensitivity. The world will tell you it's freedom, that you can do whatever feels right. But real freedom isn't about doing everything. It's about knowing when to walk away. Think about Samson. He was set apart for a purpose. He had strength that came directly from God, but he kept playing with things he shouldn't. He treated serious choices casually, and in the end, it cost him his strength, his freedom, and his purpose. That's the thing about sin. It doesn't destroy you all at once. It chips away at you little by little until you don't even notice what you've lost. The moment you start saying it's not that bad is the moment you begin drifting. The solution is respect, not fear. Remember who you belong to. Remind yourself that your life has value and direction. That awareness helps you make better choices. Fourth, knowing the truth but not living it. It's one thing to hear truth. It's another to actually live by it. God isn't concerned with how much you know if it doesn't show up in your actions. The real issue is when someone understands what's right but chooses to ignore it. That gap between knowing and doing, that's where things break down. It's easy to say the right words, to look the part in public, but what matters is what happens when no one is watching. Jesus spoke strongly against this kind of disconnect, not to shame people, but because it leads to a hollow life. It creates a version of faith that looks real on the outside, but is empty inside. The Pharisees knew everything. They could quote scripture perfectly, but their lives didn't reflect it, and that's what frustrated Jesus the most. Truth is meant to change you, not just inform you. So don't stop at understanding. Let it shape your decisions. Let it challenge you. Let it grow you. These habits may not seem serious at first, but over time they build distance between you and God, not because He walks away, but because we slowly drift. And here's the important part. God's anger isn't about punishment. It's about protection. It's His way of pulling you back before things go too far. If any of this feels familiar, don't ignore it. That awareness is a chance to reset. Take a moment. Be honest with yourself. Make the shift. Because mercy is still there. It hasn't gone anywhere, but it responds to those who are willing to listen and change. And remember this, God doesn't warn you to push you away. He warns you because He still wants you close.